In sales, sometimes the biggest mistakes, they're the ones we don't even see ourselves making. So today, we're going to break down 3 huge errors that might be costing you deals, and we're pulling these insights straight from sales coach Bank Supercott. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, let's start with a feeling I bet every single one of us has felt. You know that frustration when a deal, it feels like it's in the bag, a total sure thing, and then it just goes cold? You've been there, right? The momentum's building, everything's going great, and then poof, nothing. So, what's really going on here? All right, mistake number one. And this one, well, it feels totally backwards at first. You'd think that in sales, more energy is always a good thing, right? Like you gotta be on. But here's the thing, it's not about how much enthusiasm you bring, it's about the kind of enthusiasm. Let's dig into why having too much of that wrong energy can actually kill a deal before you even get started.
So just look at this contrast. It's pretty stark. On one side, you've got the new salesperson, right? Super enthusiastic, maybe a little fidgety, and just chomping at the bit to talk. It feels salesy. But then you look at the professional. They're composed, they're calm, they're focused on listening. That is what makes them feel trustworthy. And that calm confidence, that's what really builds the foundation for the sale.
And that's exactly why that super high energy approach can totally backfire. It immediately makes a potential client suspicious. Instead of them thinking, hey, how can this person help me solve my problem? Their brain switches to, okay, what are they trying to get from me? What's the catch here? Oh, this quote is a total game changer. People don't like to be sold to, but they like to buy. It's so true, right? We all instinctively put up a wall when we feel like we're being sold to, but we love the feeling of making a smart purchase. So your job isn't to push, it's to be a guide, to get them to a point where they feel totally confident and empowered to pick your solution all on their own. All right, so that brings us right to mistake number 2, which honestly is a direct result of that salesy energy we were just talking about. It's what happens when we lean on those old, cliched techniques. You know the ones, those tired, predictable tactics that just make a customer's internal alarm bells start screaming. I mean, seriously, think about it. When you hear someone open with a line like, "Hello, I have something great to offer you today," what's your gut reaction? Your guard just shoots right up, doesn't it? Because you've heard it a million times. It just signals, here comes the generic pitch, not here comes a real conversation.
So here's the bottom line. The second your interaction feels scripted, you've already lost. It's over. You're not a trusted advisor anymore. You're just another salesperson. The real goal here is to have an authentic conversation, not to put on some predictable performance.
Okay, and now we're at our third and final mistake. And honestly, this might be the most important one of all. This is the thing that really separates the good salespeople from the truly great ones. It's all about understanding that the final critical step of a sale, it's not done with your mouth. We're all kind of trained to believe that selling is all about talking, right? Having that perfect pitch, knowing exactly what to say next. But the single most powerful tool you have for closing any deal, it's actually your ears. Okay, now this chart, this is where it gets really interesting. It shows the perfect balance for a sales conversation, and for a lot of people, this is a real shocker. The customer, they should be talking about 80% of the time. And you? Just 20%. Your job isn't to give a speech, it's to ask the kind of questions that get them to fill that 80% with pure gold. So you're probably thinking, how on earth do I hit that 80-20 balance? Well, here's the playbook. Step 1, you ask really smart, insightful questions. That gets the customer talking, explaining their real problems. And then, and this is key, your job is to just listen. Not just wait for your turn to talk, but to really understand their true needs. Only then can you step in and present what you have as the actual solution. Okay, so let's pull all this together. We've talked about getting your energy right, throwing out those cheesy old cliches, and listening way more than you talk. So what's the big idea here? What does this all boil down to? Let's wrap this up with one core takeaway that could honestly change the way you close deals forever. Here it is. This is the big mental shift that separates the best from everyone else. See, great salespeople don't talk their way into a sale, they listen their way into one. They get so good at understanding the customer's problem that presenting the solution just becomes the obvious next step. So, I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Before your next sales call, I want you to stop focusing on what you're going to say. Instead, focus on what you're going to ask. What is that one powerful question you can ask that will unlock a totally new level of understanding of your customer's world? Because that's where the real sale happens.